So I gotta say, good evening and welcome. Stephen, welcome.
Wagwani.
Listen, it is so good to have you in our company this evening. Definitely pretty awesome. So thank you for your time.
No doubt, no doubt. It is a blessing, and thank you for having me. Yes, yes. Exciting, exciting.
It looks like you're super busy right now, though.
No, this on the move another day as, a dad rapper, you know what I mean? A husband, father
Right.
on the move, busy, busy. And there's a concert tonight. So,
Oh,
yeah, schedule
nice.
change just a little bit. So, we getting it done, though.
That's pretty cool. So are you going to be on set tonight?
No, no, nope, nope. Just another hip hop artist coming into the city.
I like that you support other artists, though. So that's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
listen, guys, if you are just tuned in and you're wondering what is happening, well, right now we are chatting to the main man himself, Stephen Malcolm. He is an absolutely incredible artist, also one of my personal favorites. He has earned like 5 Dove Award nominees, more than 70 million streams. So listen, I'm going to stop talking and Stephen, allow you to give us a little bit of an intro as to exactly who you are, what shaped you as a young boy, growing up to the man that you are right now, and yeah, where did you find yourself basically?
My name is Stephen Malcolm. I am a kid from the Midwest of Grand Rapids, Michigan, in the United States. And I grew up a regular kid. My father was an immigrant from Jamaica, and my mother was just a regular woman, but I actually come from the bottom. I come from a rough upbringing. When I say that, I just mean like my mother, she was sexually abused as a child. She grew up in the foster system in group homes and then she met my dad, and my dad really didn't have an education. His father wasn't in his life. They got together, they had me. I was not planned. They wasn't married, and then when I was 9 years old, he ended up going to prison for drug dealing. And because he was Jamaican, they deported him back to Jamaica. So that was the last time I seen him, was when I was 9 years old. And after that, mama developed an alcohol habit that was really, really bad. And so I kind of had to raise myself as a young man out here in these streets, and just cling to big brothers in the streets. And then I actually clung to basketball. So I grew up pursuing, a basketball dream and just looking up to people like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan.
Uh,
And that really kept me out of trouble. I come from a family where all of them just got kids and was gang banging and doing drugs growing up, but basketball really kept me out of that life. And but I was a fatherless young man, and to any fatherless young man listening or tuning in, you know that you lack purpose and identity growing up fatherless as a man. And that was
mm,
exactly me. I found myself at 19 years old looking in the mirror asking, what is my purpose? What am I here for? And I never went to church in my life, but everybody in my city was telling me about this hip hop church, this hip hop church. And I'm like, hip hop and Jesus, how does that even make
exactly.
sense? And man, I checked it out and it blew me away. Like, I seen young black and brown people
Mm,
worshiping Jesus and giving him all the glory, and it was quality. It was actually good music and amazing dancing and crazy artistic ways of expression that they called worship. And
mm,
man, it was something that just really blew me away. I felt peace. I felt just safe there. And I found Jesus to be the most interesting person ever. And so I kept on going, and the Lord changed my heart, and I submitted myself to the Lord and gave my life to Christ. And that was in 2010, and I was 19 years old. And yeah, man, the rest is history. The pastor built a studio in the church so we can teach high school students how to write music and produce music. And so I started sleeping in the church and making music. And and then next thing you know, 5 years later, after putting out music and grinding, I get signed to Curb, and now I do music around the world, all giving glory to Jesus.
That's absolutely incredible, though, Stephen. Just from you just speaking about the fact that you also mentioned is that you come from, sadly, a fatherless background, and in our society right now, we see the effects of people growing up without a father. And like you mentioned, this is what you sadly your life where you were at, growing without a father, but you didn't allow that to shape you. Instead, you
Nah.
actually changed it around.
Yeah, that's what the record "Nothing into Something" is all about. It's like literally how I started it off is I come from nothing. I've
Mm.
never seen a faithful husband. I've never seen a present father. Both of my uncles died, one of cancer and one of AIDS. And so it's just like no man, like me and my two cousins, none of us have seen an example of a man that leads a household. And now, because of Jesus, like, I'm the only one in my family that has, really like given his life to Christ and follow him. And like I've seen Christ take my life, and now it's something. I am a present father. I'm a faithful husband. So I just picked up little man from daycare. You know what I mean? Like I'm there. So I've seen God really transform my life and create in me something that I've never seen before.
That's absolutely incredible, and especially the fact that you're just touching on the part that it's because of Christ that you are able to pursue and be a father for your child, be a good husband as well for your wife,
Yeah,
and I love that you've included that whole journey into your new album.
yeah.
So we can just chat a little bit about I listened to your album parts of it, and am I right by saying that your album is based a lot on fatherlessness, which, like we mentioned before, it sadly is the reality that we're currently facing. But speak to us more about why, or why did you choose to base this entire album, this new project, on that specific topic?
Because I feel like our greatest passion comes from our deepest hurt. And when you dig deep and just expose yourself to people, that's when people can relate. And so with me, yeah, like my life, I fully believe that my life would be totally different if my dad was present in my life, because he was a great guy. Like the things that I remember, he was amazing, but he made one choice that he ended up regretting the rest of his life. And so, yeah, man, it's a topic that I'm passionate about, and that I know that there's millions upon millions of other men out there who grew up fatherless, and unfortunately, there's still young men out there now who have no father. So I got to speak into that and speak life into them.
I love that. I must say, I absolutely do love that, because a lot of times we have music, but the lyrical content that you put out, and like you said, you are passionate about speaking into this, and I think that's really is an absolutely incredible thing to
Yeah,
do. Because let's be honest, what we listen to is really what we digest, and
absolutely.
if that's the message that you are putting out there all the time, well, listen, like you are certainly on the right path there for sure.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you.
but you don't need me to tell you that. You already know that you are doing amazing work. And I absolutely love this new project, Stephen Malcolm. And listen, guys, if you just joined and you're wondering what's happening, it is Hip Hop Wednesday. And I am chatting to Stephen Malcolm. And we are talking about his brand new album, Boats, based on a true story, is out. Stephen, tell us more about the album.
Yeah, so the album is about the redeemed hero. I wanted to create a character named Truth. I actually grew up and my nickname was Truth, and I actually passed it down to my son. His middle name is Truth. And so it is Truth. He is stranded on this oasis that is built by the broken and ran by the redeemed. Every story, every character in the Bible that God uses, they are a broken individual. And I myself, I have been on this journey of pursuing my dream of being a guy who is a passion chaser. And the sacrifice that is at hand that came with that is time. Time away from loved ones, time away from friends and family, time away from doing things that young people do. But because I'm in the gym playing ball, trying to pursue what I love. And so it's this character Truth who is stranded on this island. He's isolated on this island to reflect on his choices of using time as this sacrifice. And through my story, I tell that story. And with me, it all started with growing up fatherless, like you said, it's just like, okay, everything became on my shoulders. Now I have to make it out. I have to make it out of this situation. And so I knew from the beginning, from a young age, that I have to apply myself to something to make it out of this situation, to not be sleeping in hotels anymore. So I put time into my craft so much that loneliness is and was the result of that. And so through boats, I tell that story. The story of the redeemed hero stranded on this oasis built by the broken and ran by the redeemed.
Oh, I love that. It's like just drop the mic and walk away. I just
Yeah.
someone point the way you said that. I just love that. What is your favorite track on this album, though?
Nothing into something. This it's just a special one. Like every time I go to places and the listening parties that I've been to, and even writing the record, is the first time where it's just like it's nothing about myself really. It's just stories about other people that I've known or ran into. So nothing into something is my top one. I like that.
And I believe that there actually is a story behind this track, though.
Yeah.
I read up about it and I thought absolutely brilliant. You're gonna have to share with us, please.
Yeah, so when I was in the studio writing the record, my A&R was like, tell stories about individuals, redemption stories. And so the first one that came to mind was my cousin. And when I first started rapping, when I was, like 17 years old, it was with my cousin. And we was just in the basement and we just was young kids just rapping for fun. And growing up, fast forward into our 20s, he created an alcohol addiction following in the family curse and the family generation of what everybody else was doing in our family. Just and it was bad. Like he's full on this alcoholic and he's only like mid 20s, and with three kids. So now he's straining his kids. He's not in his kids life because alcohol. And I seen him turn his life around. Like now, praise God, he's 2 years sober and he's a full-time father now. He has all his kids living with him and taking care of them, and he's doing good. And so yeah, man, that's the backbone of nothing into something. Is I actually got to witness my cousin, my little cousin, just a full-on life transformation. And I know the seed that was planted was from God, and I know he knows, and he admits it too. And so it's beautiful. And he's in the music video, the same recreation of how we used to be in the studio and everything. So yeah, that's the backbone of nothing into something.
Oh
It's
man,
real.
that is
It's real.
It's absolutely amazing. And this is what I'm saying, guys. If you haven't had a chance to listen to the album as yet, do yourself a favor. Go and check it out. It's brand spanking new Stephen Malcolm's album, Boats. And I must say, like every track on this album, and like you mentioned as well, that it's all about the main topic, and that is, you know, God being our Father. Bringing it
Yeah.
back down to the fact that He is our Father. He is the only Father. Even if we don't have a Father, it's all good. Our Heavenly Father is there for us, and He can point us to the
Amen.
right direction, which is Him. So on
Amen.
point. Before we wrap up the interview, your final words of encouragement, especially someone maybe listening right now, and I see quite a few messages coming through, and people are saying that, hey, this is exactly what I needed, and this is the first time I'm tuning in. So, Stephen, your final words, if someone is listening right about now, and maybe they come from a situation, sadly, a fatherless home, or maybe they grew up without a dad and now they are a dad and they're having to raise kids. How would you speak into that situation?
I would say stay encouraged. I would say all of us in life, we experience hurt. And like I said, our greatest passion will come from our deepest hurt. And we can either let our hurt burn us or create a fire in us to change. And so I encourage everybody to spark change. Whatever people are going through, just remember that there's a root, and a lot of it stems from family trauma. um, and we have the power, we have the capacity, we have the mindset to break any and every generational curse through the power of God. And that's just the truth.
Is so on point. Well said indeed. Thank you, Stephen Malcolm. Before you go, I need to ask you firstly, have you ever been to Cape Town? And when?
No, but I need to
Why?
come. It's gonna happen soon. Every time I start tapping in, with the city
Right.
and a
You're missing out.
place, yeah, I soon end up there, and so it's
Mm,
like, yeah, I'm tapping in now, and I need to collaborate with an artist, and even my video guy, like the guy who shot the video for Nothing into Something, is actually from South Africa. So
nice.
yeah, God is connecting the dots.
Yeah, awesome. Listen, talking about collaborations though, have you ever thought of doing like a, I don't know, a Bollywood kind of collaboration, just for me,
I
You
need
can don't
to.
even put it out there, just do it for me, do it for my people.
I need to. I need to. Who are some like big like hip hop artists out there?
You're in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Like, so we have amazing local artists. We've got like Jerome Rex, we've got King Smasher, and I mentioned to you off air that I've got two resident DJs. So DJ Easy is one of them, and he's put together a mix of just 20 minutes of just your music. So we're doing like a
Right.
time lapse. So some of
Right.
your old stuff, some of your good stuff, some stuff that you even forgot about. So you got to stick
Right.
around because you're gonna be like, hey, I love this mix. So yeah, that's coming through. So hopefully you can enjoy it.
Turn up. Love it. Love it. Appreciate
But
that.
Stephen, thank you so much for your time. I know that you have to be somewhere, so I'm not going to keep you any longer. But before you go, can you please introduce your brand new single onto Hip Hop Wednesday?
Yes, 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 everybody. It's your boy Stephen Malcolm, aka Midwest, and you're tuning into my new single, Nothing into Something, off my new album, Boats. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, new music, fresh cut.